Hi, I'm Corey Larson, and this is my What Shook Me video thread for Module 2, SPAD 561. Delving right into it, what I'm grappling with and what sort of found challenging to read was listening to Walter Beach's discussion on being blackballed by the NFL in the United We Stand video, talking about how the owner of the Cleveland Browns, Art Modell, saw him reading a book by Elijah Muhammad on the team plane and voiced his displeasure with the fact that he was reading with that, and then ensued a series of blackballing techniques, which ultimately ended Beach's career. And then we fast forward to the 2000s and present day, and we look at somebody like a Colin Kaepernick making a stand for social justice, in many ways the modern civil rights movement, and Cap, a guy who was good enough to start in a Super Bowl, has since the season when he made that stand has yet to get another opportunity, which is, one can't believe that he's not good enough to at least be the backup quarterback on an NFL team, i.e., it's likely that the NFL owners have decided to blackball him. As far as what I disagree with, the article about the true story of the Cleveland Summit, I don't necessarily agree with the bent that Jim Brown and some of the other athletes, that their presence at the Cleveland Summit was entirely motivated by economics. If you look at the history of Jim Brown, at least in the 60s, his stance was that one of the paths that blacks had to liberation and freeing themselves in this country was to get more economically involved. And yes, he did evidently have a deal with Bob Arum to make a little bit of money on the closed circuit of Ali's fights, but I don't think that was his own aim motivation. I don't think in a 6-hour conversation with Ali, he decided, oh, by the way, you've convinced me that my money's not worth it, and I'm going to join you in making a stand against black oppression, and come out and support you. I think that was always on his mind. It was, that maybe the deal with Aram was more of a side hustle, and not the sole motivation. As far as what I agree with, Dr. Moore's talking at the end of his thing about how the stories we tend to glamorize in the history of the black athletes are ones where somehow there's a white savior there. And as I think about it, like, short of Ali with Will Smith, I can't think of a whole lot of movies, at least sports movies, that have been made about black athletes that don't feature some white coach or white friend that kind of swoops in and saves him. As far as what I'd like to learn more about, after reading Dr. Moore's book on the We Will Win the Day, kind of understanding a little bit more about the black press, particularly during the civil rights movement, where it seems like there were a lot of black-owned newspapers that had some very interesting stance on what athletes were doing in that time. So, kind of looking forward to getting into the essay and seeing what more there is about the black press involvement in with athletes during the civil rights movement. Thanks.